Greetings, Mandrake here. This is Mission 8, Pelican Down, on the difficulty Legendary with all skulls on, except for Bandana. Deathless. This is part of my LASO without Bandana Deathless series. My current Valor is at 2350, equipment status. Grapple is 5 of 5, shield cores 5 of 5, drop walls 3 of 5, and thrusters 1 of 5. I did not collect any of the 5 Spartan cores, and I did not destroy any of the 4 propaganda towers. If I were to do this again, I'd suggest to destroy those and to collect the Spartan cores and spend the core points on the drop wall. I am currently carrying a full arcane sentinel beam and a full sniper rifle. The sentinel beam will be handed off to a marine at the end of the mission for the final fight. The sniper rifle is for fighting the hunters at the East AA gun. My general fighting method is to kill most enemies with a ghost and use a BR with the assistance of a plasma weapon when necessary. So you saw me getting things started by hijacking a ghost from that elite who usually goes on patrol. It's in a loop, and I was just waiting for him to come around and pick him off and just hijack him. The easy hijack and easy kill after that. And I want to go through the process of killing off the majority of these enemies here in the basin and begin my setup for my approach to the first AA gun, which the order I'm going to take is East AA gun, North, and then West. Mainly for the purpose, for the approach from when I finish in the West AA gun and then take on Tovarus and Hyperius. I'll approach from coming down the elevator into the base where there's a couple Marine prisoners. I'll eliminate those guys and do my approach from there because of the chopper. He gives I like the approach and the area to work within when I'm taking on the chopper. And this area over here, there's a couple routes that have rocket launchers, and so my purpose is really just to kind of collect the rocket launchers. They can come in handy with the East AA gun when taking on hunters. And I want to try and get these kills with little risk, so I want to do the kills from distance. So that's where the ghost is coming in, and it's a safe and low risk way of killing these enemies. Work my way over and collect the 2 rocket launchers, and there will be a rocket launcher in a marine rack that I'm heading over to and topping off the rockets. So now the rockets are full, 2 and 4 in reserve. I'll drop it off there. I'll come back for them. Move the little weapons around. There's 3 more grunts in this kind of mound, this kind of big moundy area to the right here. In some cases, they haven't heard the commotion, and so their shields are down, so I can get 2, if not 3 of them with headshots. But given this arrangement, I'm only going to get the 2 of them. And then the 3rd one, I'll just have to use a ghost, or I'm just going to melee. So I got these 3. Now I'm going to collect their disruptors. The disruptors are going to be necessary for the hunter fight. And so this little shoreline where I'm looking at and throwing these weapons, I'm going to create my new stockpile and get it started there. With the 3 disruptors that were dropped, I'll get 1 full disruptor. And I'm going to head back, get the rockets, and there'll be 1 more full disruptor to get put together as well. So in this stockpile I'm creating, you see the BR, dropping the arcane sentinel beam, there's 1 disruptor. I'm going to head back and get rocket launcher and another full disruptor. top off the BR ammo. I'm gonna head over and collect the fully loaded disruptor from the 3 grunts that I just killed earlier. There's another elite and a ghost that's patrolling in that area there, so I didn't want to go too close to that disruptor to collect it. I got my stockpile. I'm going to leave the stockpile there. There's some enemies here that's walking up toward that watchtower. 3 grunts and 2 brutes. Try and get them with little commotion as possible because there's going to be 3 grunts up that hillside on the back side of that watchtower. And what I'm trying to do is make sure their shields are down and I can just pick them off one by one with a headshot with the BR without really having to get any kind of risky engagement. I can collect their 2 rockets that are dropped. Probably a minimum of 3 shots. And these 3 grunts dropped a disruptor, or 3 disruptors, and I'll be able to get a full disruptor. In total, I plan to collect 6 disruptors, and as I was saying, I'm saving those for the hunters. There's a method you'll get to see here in a bit where I can just use the disruptor to get the kills on the hunters, and it works out very well. Now it's just a matter of moving the stockpile. I have not engaged the watchtower, which has a jackal sniper, or the grunts, because by returning in this area where I am at right now, that whole area will reset. So if I kill them and then come back here and head back to that area, then it'll reset, they'll respawn, they'll be alive, and I'd have to kill them again. So I'm not going to mess with them. I'm going to get the stockpile moved, and then I'll engage them. And if it, it can even work out. You could kill the jackal sniper, he'll drop the stalker, go get the weapons, come back, and then he'll be there, and you can kill him again, and he'll drop a second one so you can get some more ammo. However, what turns out is the grunts would be more alert, and they would have their shields on. It's like the instant, even you could be a mile away and they'll see you and know you and they have their shields on, then you'd have to fight them. So there's really only 1 remaining, and so he's not going to be a difficult fight. He's pretty much scripted to stay along that top side, that back side of the hill. In most cases, there's going to be 2 brutes around the corner there. I see them on the threat sensor. If you don't get brutes, you get a jackal minor and a jackal major. But you're more likely to get the brutes. That works fine for me because I can get a couple more rocket launchers. And there'll be a jackal sniper. Where did he go? At the base, that foot that I'm kind of looking at right there, there's a jackal sniper up there. And at some point, if he hears commotion, he can look and start wanting to shoot down. Yeah, I think seemed like I had a little bit of reflection from a sniper. There he is. Got that one picked off. And that brute, his spike grenade threw him up in the air, and he was launched, and he came down over here near the cliff edge. There'll be one more Jackal sniper up this road, at the top of the road, kind of the top of the little cliff. And you hear the propaganda tower. I'm not going to engage the or I'm not going to destroy the propaganda towers or collect the Spartan cores. It would be best if I collect the Spartan cores because I can spend the points, and should have spent the points on the drop wall to get it maxed out, to get more damage firing through the drop wall and get an extra shock effect. Very handy. And didn't realize I had a sniper rifle. That was 2 wasted shots. The stalker rifle is going to be handy. That's going to be necessary for killing off some grunts later. Now I'm going to collect the 3 disruptors that were dropped up here. I have another full disruptor. Just up that road, there's going to be, I want to say, 6 grunts and 2 elites. 1 elite is pretty much scripted to hang around a storage building. Doesn't usually come out, but sometimes can come out and kind of show himself. So it really just kind of depends on the randomness of what the game wants to do. But there's going to be 1 elite that hangs out around kind of a down Pelican. And I usually want to go after him with a rocket launcher, so I really don't want to fire, only want to fire 1 or 2 rockets at him, and I don't want to spend too much rocket ammo on him. And really, I just want to take advantage of boom and cowbell, so I'll just fire it near him and hope it just launches him. In the previous runs, I've wanted to keep the sword and the heat wave, but I find that with the setup that I have and the method that I use, I find that I don't even use the sword or the heat wave. And with the Sentinel Beam, as I'd mentioned at the top, at the early going, I am going to carry this all the way to the end. I do not plan to use it, and I'll be handing it off to a Marine so that they can use it when I take on Hyperius and Tovarus. And it's surprising just how lethal it is. Little time consuming with the collection of weapons and getting things set up. But it's necessary because being deathless, I want to ensure I do everything to make sure I still get the kills but remain alive. He'll hide behind that wing of the some debris there. And sometimes I can just shoot that mongoose. There's a mongoose to the right of him, and it'll take him out. And there he goes. And so now that the elite is gone, the grunts at some point are just going to turn tail and run up the hill. And they'll fight from at the top. And from here I'll use the ghost, and I will work my way up the hill in the ghost to take out the grunts. There should be a Jackal Major, if not 2 of them. I may have just forgotten about the Jackal Sniper. Yep, I did. And I gotta pick off the Jackal. Didn't like that it took that many shots. So threat sensor reveals some enemies. Go after them with the ghost. Splatter and shoot is necessary, is needed. Now, catch, they're going to be throwing their nades. Jackal Major with the Mangler. They get back and get reset. Allow the shock effect to wear off so I don't get stunned. The Jackal is annoying. Yeah, there's 2 Jackal Majors. And I got that out of the way. They are annoying. And I also want to ensure that I save at least a grunt so that I can melee and get my shield back with all these enemies up there. I don't want to shoot these barrels. They're not necessary, I don't need them, it's just I don't need a chain reaction and have explosions too close to me. Up at the top where I put that other threat sensor, at the top of the hill there is a Jackal Major and a Jackal Minor, and when I start engaging these enemies in this storage building, they like to step out and engage. And they're kind of a hidden area where I can't really get to them, but that worked out where he stepped out and I could see him. So I got the Jackal Major down, now the Minor is just kind of hiding out, and then when I start to engage the other enemies, then he likes to step out and shoot. And it gets annoying. What I hope to do here is to try and shoot a grunt that wants to throw a nade and he can drop it and cause some chaos inside there. I could shoot a barrel, hope to pick something off. I'm not sure what happened to the elite. Yep, there goes the Jackal Minor. He's gonna get in cover again. So now I've got a shield. And I've only got to take care of the last enemy that's gonna interfere with me getting things set up. So I got these guys taken care of. Now I can collect their weapons and move the stockpile. The remaining enemies are gonna be there's a Jackal Sniper on the backside of this territory up along the hill, and then there's going to be 2 Jackal Majors, as in just kind of like through the left side to go up to the cave, and they're kind of like off to the left. Then inside the cave, there's going to be 2 Jackal Majors, 2 Hunters, 6 Grunts, and the way the scripting works is when you cross a trigger line, that will trigger them to all come out of the cave except for the Jackal Majors. They hang around inside the cave. But then they all kind of come out of the cave. So what my plan is and what I've figured out to do is I don't cross the trigger line. I climb up to the area where I can engage and see the Grunts and barely make out where the Hunters are. However, the Hunters will step out and have at least some kind of basic scripting to where they'll engage, but they're not going to shoot much, and they're not going to evade much, and they'll still get mad and and stuff like that, but they're not going to be moving around much until you cross the trigger line. Once you cross the trigger line, then it's like they've just been released from their cage, and they're just going to be a mad bull. And so with that, I plan to just shoot them with the disruptor. They're pretty much gonna just stand still and just let me shoot them. And that's pretty much the intention. Picking off the grunts isn't going to be difficult because I'll have the stalker rifle. I'll be able to top it off and get it full because there's a kinetic and plasma ammo dispensers in that storage room, building. And so it's going to be easy to pick off the grunts. They'll engage in just kind of a minor way. So from here, I'm going to grab and move up kind of one of these weapons at a time and juggle one weapon and one disruptor all the way up the hill. It'll just take a little bit of time. The majority of these weapons are going to be for the hunter fight, and it's really just kind of contingency stuff. If by chance I happen to cross the trigger line and they come out, as in 2 hunters come out, then it's just pretty going to be a restart mission because it's too risky to fight the 2 hunters. There is a contingency if I get 1 hunter killed and the second hunter is in the cave and doesn't want to come out, and let's say if I accidentally cross the trigger line, then he comes rushing out. He's too volatile and too aggressive because if his brother's dead, then he's gonna be all upset and he'll be aggressive and charge and stuff like that. And it's just too easy to die. Just like the instant he sees you, it's machine gun shooting and shooting some lethal shots, and there's very little cover and very little protection you can get, and he can just easily pick you off. So the weapons are for, at least if I get the first one killed, the second one comes out and I gotta kill him, well then I've got different weapons to be able to do it. But as it turns out, even I have those weapons, there's really it's difficult to set up a firing position to take him on where he charges or get him to back off, things like that. So it's also very, very risky. But I still bring the weapons because I still find a use for them. They're just kind of for contingency purposes for different scenarios. So rockets for the hunters. The sniper is also going to be for the hunters because if I get some shots and I feel like he's getting near death, if I also feel like I'm going through a lot of disruptor ammo and getting low, then I can still fire a few rounds with the sniper rifle. And plus, if one of them does manage to come out, the sniper rifle has stopping power to stop their advances. But it's not always a guarantee, but it's one of those that can help me buy some time. If it works, it works. It doesn't, it doesn't. Rockets are also good for it. If I get them to come out and I get in the right position, I can fire the rockets and hope to launch them into an area that's more favorable to kind of get them away from this area that they're trying to protect around the AA gun. Want them to kind of go down the hill or work their way down the hill, but if I fire a rocket, it could send them launched down the hill, which could come in handy. So if I get the first one killed, second one doesn't want to cooperate, say I've accidentally triggered him, he comes out, well then I can use the rockets to launch him down here and then just sneak in, activate the lift, destroy the AA gun, and then just leave the area without engaging the hunter, which is kind of how this is going to turn out. I have made at least 3 attempts on this as just kind of test out how this works out. And the plan A, which is kill the hunters with the disruptors, 3 times this worked, and it worked fine, and I moved on, and it worked just as planned. However, it was because both hunters, where they were positioned, I was able to engage them. In this run that you're going to see, spoiler alert, the second hunter is buried deep down into the cave, and you couldn't see him. He wouldn't move, won't come out, won't engage, and thus I'll have to go to a plan B, which I pretty much discussed, which is just draw him out so I can get in, activate the lift, get up to the A gun, destroy it, and just sneak away and not have to engage the second. And I don't have to deal with that shot coil. Won't have use for it. I don't need it accidentally blowing up near me. That disruptor that I laid there, I believe it's just a used one. And I also, when you see me kind of touching up on items, so I want to make sure I get in that ghost just to kind of keep it alive, keep it from despawning, because you know, you don't use it for a long period of time and it'll just despawn. You go too far away, it can despawn. That's my ride out of here. Alright, now I'm going to move up and engage the grunts. Got the stalker, got the BR. I positioned 3 disruptors. I think there's one of them. So that I can take on the hunters once I get the grunts killed. So you can see on threat sensor there's 6 grunts. You can see one of the hunters. There should be one more, or actually there should be 2 jackal majors in the cave. Cover, difficult to shoot. These guys, when they see me, they're going to throw nades. So that's why I've got the drop wall. See, the hunter is going to... Oh yeah, that was real close. I'm trying to put the drop wall down, and there's always difficulties with switching equipment, and it didn't always do it. And thus, the game the grapple almost pulled me across the trigger line. I mean, I am very, very close to it, so the footing here is not very good. I got rid of that jackal major. These guys will throw nades. They're still going to engage. They'll shoot with the disruptor, but more importantly, they'll just throw nades, and that can be a problem. So this is very, very precarious. I don't want to go too close to the rocks in front of me that you see. And I can jump them on the rock here. Kind of gets me in trouble, because if I jump up, then they want to engage more or throw nades. The hunter might want to shoot. The thing with what I was saying about the hunter wanting to lob shots, with his basic scripting, he would rather lob a shot, which is kind of less aggressive shot. I need to go down and get some ammo for the stalker. Throwing that nade, I got concerned that it may have blown away some of the disruptors, but it didn't. This is also kind of risky, just doing the grapple up here. I've had a couple times where I grappled and I released, but the game maintained that I held and slung me around and across the trigger line, and having the enemies come out on different runs. So not this run, but on previous runs, testing this out. Alright, and there's one of the hunters in a good line of sight, and he's trying to lob a shot instead of firing directly. So now it's just time to go ahead and get a disruptor and start engaging the hunter. Once again, it's having equipment difficulties. Got blind on, so I can't tell which is which. But there's times I will make the switch. I will select equipment, and the game will just ignore it. Alright, so it's hunter time. Being at this distance, I can see or hear the hunter wanting to shoot, and as I can back away. I will also engage this hunter without the drop wall, so you get enough shots on him, and he's got that shock effect. It does kind of reduce the amount of times that he wants to shoot back and fire. But I want to be very careful about how I engage him here, because 1 or 2 shots can kill me. So just I'm going to be real antsy to move out of the way if he shoots. Ran out of ammo for one, so that's one of them down. Yeah, that's kind of odd. Didn't even see me and just started shooting like crazy. Just took out the drop wall. There's still one more Jackal Major deep down in the cave. The other hunter doesn't even show up on threat sensor. Way down in there. And from this distance, I don't necessarily want to shoot too fast. The faster you shoot, the less accurate your shots can be, and plus you can hit rocks, you can miss the hunter. Granted, the size of the hunter is a pretty good size, so it's kind of hard to miss. But still, I want to pace my shots just to ensure that the shots are hitting them and getting that shock effect going and just burning them up. There he goes. So I've got him down to his final stage. Won't take much to get him killed from here. That's why I've got the sniper rifle, so I can now just use the sniper to... There he's down. And with that threat sensor I put down, the other hunter is now visible. But the problem is going to be, he's not going to want to come out to play. So at this point, I'm just going to go grab and move a couple more disruptors up here. Purpose being, I don't want to be engaging shooting the hunters or a hunter with one of those. I don't want the shock effect to wear off, so I want to seamlessly just be able to grab another weapon and just continue shooting. And I'm going to take this opportunity to touch up on the weapons I got here. And then touch up on the Ghost. Ghost is in real good shape. Now it's time to engage the hunter, if given that the hunter wants to come out to play. Now way down in there, way off to the right. And this is where things get very, very sketchy, because I don't want to cross the trigger line. I just work my way as far over to my left, the left as I can, if I can see them at some point. So I don't know where the trigger line is when I get over here. This is kind of uncharted territory. I'll be able to get this Jackal. And that kind of worked out, hoping to create some kind of chaos, you know, blow up a coil have some kind of explosion, get them to, you know, draw him out. And I'm just real, you know, just kind of eggshells here. Just I don't want to cross that trigger line at this point because I've got the first one down. And plan B is just kind of is going to be, again, it's kind of like uncharted territory because it's hard to coerce them to get them to go where you want them to go. And here I'm just trying to fire some shots. I'm trying to draw them out. Not working. Kind of running out of ideas. Trying to get them out. Not budging. Grab a rocket launcher and see if maybe a rocket launcher can help draw him out. I got excited for a moment there, but it's the dead body. Rocket in there, not budging. Another shot into the dead body, still not moving. And I crossed the trigger line. I'm not sure where it is when moving to my left like I was. I had no idea. So I kind of know now not to go that far. I mean, I was just inches. I was moving just little inches at a time. Now this is why this gets real precarious and gets real risky and dangerous is he's out, he's mad, I mean very mad. His brother's gone and now he's on a rampage. So I'm gonna if I'm gonna engage or try and get any kind of shots on him, I'm gonna want to do it from distance. So if he starts to shoot, I can have time to react. Sees me and starts to shoot. Moment it saw me, started to shoot. So very aggressive. And it seems like, as far as the scripting goes, it seems like it kind of hangs around in that area and doesn't really pursue beyond that area. If he's to come out, he needs to go back and around the path and come down the path. It doesn't normally and isn't going to climb down from that little ridge that it's on. It will stay on that ridge. It's not going to come down from there unless, like I said, it's got to go back and come down, come around the corner. And it's hard and it's very risky to try and draw them or lure them around the corner to come down this path. And it's kind of what I want to do, is have them come down this path and lure them even further down, because it can buy me just enough time to get in there, activate the lift, go up the lift. I'll be safe once inside the AA gun. I can have it destroyed and I can exit and get away. But the trouble is trying to do it without getting killed and being in the aggressive nature that he's in right now. he's really amped up. You'll notice here, the instant he sees me, he's going to go into this machine gun rapid fire. So I want to get up here and at least try and fire some rockets and see if I can push him off the ledge onto the path below. That'll get me what I need to do. And he fired the moment he saw me. I just peeked over the ledge and started to shoot. And there it goes, the rapid fire. And I have those two Jackal Majors that I just happen to be in their line of sight. It was a good push, but it didn't knock him off the ledge. Come on, cowbell and boom. Not helping and not working. That first shot worked well. These other shots aren't really doing anything. And I have him by that ledge, and I want to get a shot and knock him off. I think I'm just trying to see what I can do with the disruptor. I'm out of rockets. That's the thing, is I'm out of rockets, so I couldn't shoot anymore. Yeah, he can shoot me from that ledge there. He can look right down upon me and rain fire, and it'll kill me. go back up to on top of the mountain, up on top of the cliff, try and get some distance. Kind of reduce the risk. Can't exactly just sit there and try and shoot him with the disruptor, even from that far away. He's going to shoot back. I could put a drop wall. The drop wall is only going to last for so long, and plus if he's going to hit it with, his shots are going to hit the drop wall, it isn't going to last but a few seconds. Especially because it's at 3 of 5. If it was maxed out, it would be a little more sturdy, but only just a little bit. This really takes some time. Like I said, this is plan B, and I hadn't really had much time to explore this option. I'm relocating the disruptors. I'm not going to be able to fight from up there. Or put this way, successfully fight from up there. I have tried to fight them from up there in previous runs, and it's not effective. You get killed so easily and so quickly. I have done engagements with them before along this trail, fighting from inside this storage room, this storage building. He comes down the trail, and I can shoot him with the disruptor and put the drop wall up and use the doorway as cover. It's inconsistent though with how it works out, because you can there's times you can take a lot of damage and other times you don't take damage, but it's just really just a roll of the dice of, you know, how it goes, and it usually isn't very favorable. I've had times where I had good luck with it, and when trying to do it again, many times it just did not go so well. I'm getting closer to drawing him away from the cave and away from the area that he's protecting. I get him to come down this path. That's what I want. See me here in a moment. He's going to charge. Heard that. And he's going where I don't want him to go. It looks like he's going back down. I can't really tell. No, he's going up. He's going up the ledge. I don't want him to go up the ledge. He's got a good high ground firing line on me from up there, so I'll take damage. This is where things kind of go downhill. Literally going downhill here. But this turns out to be the kind of turning point, because then he kind of wants to come down. Good, now he's coming down the path, coming down the road that I want him to come down. And it's a real surprise he's continuing to go down the hill. So give me the opportunity to do what I want to do, need to do. I want to avoid these jackals here.
Slight problem, Chief. We need a way to get inside the AA gun. Look around.
I got the lift activated, and you know, the silly thing is I've got a disruptor and can't remember what, I think a rocket launcher, and the disruptor isn't going to destroy the generator. So I'm going to be spending a moment here looking around for something to take up there. Now listen carefully for the hunter. Hear him shooting, and I kind of realize, yeah, he's getting close. I better find a weapon and do it quick. And there was that explosion. That was the hunter blowing up my ghost. Yeah, he really did do that. Ravager will work. Let's do that. And he sees me.
Get out of here before the fireworks start.
That jackal sniper tagged me. My shield is down and looking for me again.
The banished are mobilizing in a big way.
And I got that hunter coming. Yeah, I'm in trouble now.
2 more to go.
We are running out of time.
Yeah, I don't even know where that hunter
Harbinger and
is.
the Banished share the same goal.
Rebuild the ring.
But why?
Maybe they want to
And
go
yep,
home
my
too.
ghost is gone after doing that scan. Now I don't have a shield, so I'm going to go melee that jackal sniper to get a shield. And the safe way of doing that is going up on top of the mountain here, so that the hunter won't see me. Here's the jackal. Got it back to me. Doesn't know I'm here. Shield fully charged. There's the hunter, and it's time to get out of town. This objective is completed. Now it's time to move on to the North AA gun. And being I don't have a ghost, I have to go on foot. And not only go on foot, I'll need to go try and claim another ghost so I can go and take on the North AA gun. And I do have a plan for that. Alright, so I got the sentinel beam. BR is fully loaded. Now it's time to move on. Looking ahead there, see at the elevator at that North AA gun. Seeing my view there, got that elevator. At the base of the elevator on the back right, the back side to the right, there's a ghost that's parked, won't be used, and it's available. And that's what I'm going to go for. So I'm going to move along this cliff side and sneak in there, grab the ghost, and leave rather quickly. I've done this approach before just to make sure that I could do it, make sure it was attainable and achievable. I didn't bother with if I'm seen on the way getting there, you know, how to overcome that. So I just made sure I just stayed down below the line of sight. They don't see me, know I'm here, or any of that. See on my scan there, saw the ghost. And when I get to that ghost, it's also in an area where the enemies won't see me. So that's also another plus. Gotta make sure I have my grapple selected, because if I fall here and I shoot a threat sensor, here we go. Yeah, and that's why I gotta have that selected, because if I didn't have that selected, even though I would have selected it, and in my fall, I would have probably grappled, the game would have just kept me falling and fall to my death. And it would have stunk being able to get that first AA gun done and then have something stupid like falling to my death happen. So, this is going to be a surprise to the enemies, so I'm not going to take much fire. I'm just going to fly out of here. It's kind of a surprise to them, so they miss their chance to shoot. And I'm going to take this path instead of the elevator, because the top of the elevator is a lot of enemies and a lot of risky fighting. So I just go up this path. I was hoping to shoot both of those runs, but I just was able to manage to shoot the one, got a shield, and got the second one. Now at the base of that, there's the Jackal Sniper I just picked off. That's an important one. You can easily forget about him, and around that corner there's a Jackal Major and a Jackal Minor. Get them picked off. Right, they're down. And then this where things slows down is at the top of the hill. You'll see the threat sensor come out, and there is a ghost occupied by a grunt. And just to the right of the ghost is a couple elites, and they're no nonsense fighters, and they will throw nades, fire the heat wave. There they are on threat sensor, just to the right of them. I'm going to get a good opportunity here. Took out that elite, who, when he's alerted, will get in that shade turret, and that can completely mess things up. So that threat is now taken care of. The risky part here is to get in the ghost, like hijack the ghost, and get away without the elites shooting me or throwing nades and sticking me with nades. There's a thing with the thing in the game, when you hijack, there's this dizziness, delay, you can't do much, and you just kind of turn and spin or drift, and you have no control for at least a second or two. And it's that second or two that's going to get you killed if it doesn't work out. So if I hijack him, I'm likely going to end up hijacking this guy right in front of those elites. And there's very little control that you have over what happens when you go to hijack them. The good news is if the ghost is shot by the heat wave a couple times, that's fine. It gets damaged. That's all good and fine. I'm not concerned about that. I'm just concerned about getting shot by the heat wave 2 or 3 times and getting killed, which really can happen. That's a potential problem. Or you get stuck by a nade, and then it's over and restart mission. I just finally decided I'm just going to go for it.
Find a way to power on the grav lift beneath
So
the
hijacked and finally got away. It took like a second or two before I had any kind of control. It's just, you almost didn't see the delay, but there wasn't really any control until you heard me boost or accelerate. So I've got 2 good ghosts now. I didn't really take much in the way of damage with this. I'm going to put a threat sensor down so I know where these elites are. I figure I'm going to go ahead and go right after these elites because they're really going to be the biggest threat here. You got 2 of them, so it's hard to, you know, engage one at a time because they're so close. And I got lucky that he just kind of stood there instead of firing and throwing a nade. Now I got that other jackal sniper. You almost got caught there, and my shield was down, and that jackal sniper is taking aim to shoot at me. So around this little hill, there's going to be 3 grunts, and as you saw with Catch, the moment he saw me, he started throwing a nade. So the trick here is to get shots on these guys so that they don't fire back with the disruptor. They can throw nades, I can avoid the nades. They start firing the disruptor, and I get stunned. I'm likely going to die because I do not have a shield. And I'm taking disruptor fire from somewhere. I think it's up on the mountain. And with that, I now have a shield. And there's going to be 2 Jackal Majors up in those pillars. And instead of messing around with leaving that shade turret, I'm just going to go ahead and destroy it. Make sure nothing gets in there and something unexpected happens. And no, it's not a good idea to try and use that shade turret on these enemies because Catch. And the way they shoot, you know, I'll end up being dead in 2 shots. Just checking the area to see that there's no enemies that have drifted nearby. I'm going to look for the sniper. He's at the base of one of the legs. There's 3 Jackal snipers total. One of them I already picked off early on from this area that's up at one of the legs or feet on this near side. There's one at the other feet at the other end. Not at this near side, but the far side. And then on the rooftop of this like security building, storage building, whatever it is. And I need to take care of this Jackal Major before I can focus on the other Jackal Sniper. So there's 2 remaining. Alright, since I already had a shield, I didn't need to punch him. I'm just going to shoot him. So here's the other sniper. Number 2. And yes, there's another ghost occupied by a grunt. I think the right thing to do here is to take out the Jackal Sniper, because if I go to hijack this thing, then he can just have free shots on me. There he is. He's behind a leg. And he stepped out. Now I can go after the grunt and the ghost. That's also kind of a difficult one because at that storage building that I was referring to, there's brutes, and they got rocket launchers and a heat wave. There's a jetpacker, and here's why this is so dangerous. That's why this is so dangerous. He sped off, and as I'm hijacking him, I'm a sitting duck for a second or 2. So now that I avoided that, and I don't think I have any shield damage. Now I do. I got shot by that plasma pistol once. I have minor damage, so it's not a big deal. I can now use the ghost to kill off these enemies that are just nearby, just a nuisance. So I need to put a threat sensor down by that storage building. Seeing what kind of enemies I got there. Get shots on him so he doesn't shoot his rockets. Get him taken care of. That coil took care of that jackal. Not sure where the jetpacker is. May be gone, but there's still a brute left and he's inside the storage building. Got a good opportunity there where he was able to get shots on him and do the approach where he didn't shoot. Then you always get this Jackal Major. He's a nuisance. He likes to step over the hill when you're engaging and just get you from, you know, from your side. Comes at you sideways.
Second AA gun is open for business, and by open, I mean...
Let's go.
And I got that annoying jackal taken care of. Now, inside the storage building, there's a couple of grunts. I want to kill one of them, and I'll use the second one to go climb in there and punch him, get my shield back. I do want to park the Ghost in this area where I'm leaving the Sentinel beam, but I don't want to get too close to where I was heading, because up that path is the dock, and there's a lot of enemies there. Brute with a rocket launcher, grunts, 1 or 2 elites. It's a real mess, and it's a very risky fight, but it's an unnecessary fight. Glad that nade did not kill that grunt. He was weak, but I believe he had regained his shield. And as I'm stepping away, I'm shot by that jackal miner. He shoots me with his plasma pistol. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, he did. And see, my shield is just a little... It's just a little damage. And so I really was thinking about going back in there and just killing the jackal. And it's just too risky, because it's possible the elite will see me throw a nade, shoot me with the heat wave, could end up dying, restart mission. So I decided I'm just going to move on. Go up the lift, destroy the AA gun, and move on to the last one. Got a pulse carbine down here. That'll just make it easy. Now, interesting thing I want to note, when you destroy this generator, you want to step back as far away from it as possible, because I've actually shot it from the console here and taken damage. So that's why I step back as far as I can. Sentinel beam. Got the VR. Got a good ghost, and I got my choice of ghosts.
Chief, we're being contacted on UNSC channels. Comm signature belongs to a Spartan Theodore Sorel, the one we found dead.
And just making sure I have the right weapons with me before I drive away.
Spartan. I know you can hear
Now this ghost is going to have to last me through the end of the mission. I want to make sure I keep it in good condition. And that's what I was looking for. I knew there was going to be one of these grunts hanging around here.
They're sending a Spartan killer? Chief, this is crazy. This is crazy. We gotta get out of here. We've gotta move.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
he is out of the range of the threat sensor.
When this goes bad, it's on you, Chief. Remember that.
And I got a fully charged shield. I can move on. There's several more pairs of grunts along the route here. I just kind of drive through them. There's going to be 2 pairs. There's 2 to the left, and there's 2 here in front of me. I swing here to the left side, so I'm not shot at by him, and there's 2 more here at the top of the hill. And it's unfortunate that the way the timing works out, the enemies below there will see me. It would just been great if they didn't know, and I could pick off the elite with a headshot with the shield down, but it's like the moment that they get splattered, they're alerted and they know what's up. Thought I'd get a headshot from that grunt, but when his shield popped, it pushed him off the cliff, the edge. Now I think I was going to be able to try and get away with trying to take the shield down on this elite. And I'm just diluting myself. And there, you took those shots, and now this ghost is on fire. Can't deal with it. This thing has to last me through the whole fight at the AA gun. So I'm going to head back and get another one. And these enemies respawn. At least some of them do. You got that Jackal Sniper making the ghost worse. It's now stage 2. Or stage 3, however you want to count the stages. That first fiery stage that the elite put it in was 1 stage, and when the elite and the Jackal Sniper shot it, sent it into the next stage. I said the last stage because it's blackened and such. So those 2 ghosts, yeah, I just passed where they were. They've despawned. There is going to be a good ghost here at that storage building. And I was just making sure there's not going to be any enemies, and as you notice there, the shade turret is respawned, so this area is reset, but no enemies. So, glad there's not going to be enemies. My shield appears to be good. Got 100% ghost, no damage. I'm going to try it again. Yep, and it respawned. Some of these, yeah, here's 2 more grunts. And being that Jackal Sniper was shooting me, so I'm going to go up on this mountain ledge and see if I can find them. And this will just show you the randomness of the game. The Jackal Sniper is not up here. I don't recall the Jackal Sniper here as I passed by on the way, but he was here on the way back, and now as I return, then he's not here. Yeah, have fun with that one. That almost went really sour. As I was trying to avoid the nade by pushing off to my right, there was no room to go any further to the right. So here we go again. At the moment you saw that they were splattered, that elite turns a shield on. Maybe another approach sometime maybe allow those grunts. I don't know if they're just standing still or if they decide to walk. It's probably best to have them walk toward you so that they can get further away. Maybe they're in their line of sight. They can be seen. You get a little further away where they're not heard. But my guess is they just sit there. And being it's already taken as long as it is, I don't want to sit around and wait anymore. I'll just deal with fighting these guys. And so it's kind of a risky thing here. I'm going to have to work my way down here and hope he doesn't shoot me. And one good thing happened. He went to protect himself. He was just an easy splatter. He was just going to allow it to happen. But as I'm trying to approach him, I hit the prisoner containment field and almost didn't get the splatter on him. In other words, I almost didn't hit him hard enough for it to splatter. So I'm going to get the stalker rifle. There's a plasma ammo dispenser here, so I can max out, top off the ammo.
Give me a hand.
I'm not going to free the prisoners. I'm not going to have weapons that I'd like them to use, like some long-range weapons. Sure, the stalker's a long-range weapon, but I've given them the stalker before, and they really don't use it much, and they are very ineffective with using it. Put it that way. I'm not going to have need for the sword or the heat wave, so I'm going to leave that behind as well. I am going to move the stalker. But I'm going to push up here a little bit because there's going to be an elite walking around without a shield on, so I can get the easy headshot. And I can handle the rest of the enemies here. Looking to see if maybe I could pick off a grunt, but they're not really in the line of sight. I can deal with them. And I've done this a few times, but again, this is going to be another case where things don't go as normal and as planned and as what would be considered routine. We'll find out here in a moment why this didn't really turn out routine. Is just, you know, it would be just part of the norm. They get a bit of unexpected business coming up. Yeah, I do not want them throwing nades at me from here, because I don't want them to throw a nade by that sentinel beam and blast it off somewhere where I'll never be able to find it. That cannot happen. So here comes the completely unexpected part that I can't say that I've experienced before. And I just gotta wait for it. The two remaining grunts have gone off into cover. I'm trying to look off at the distant storage units. There's gonna be a brute with a rocket launcher and an elite. And those are my two biggest threats down there. And that's what I was talking about. Completely unexpected. I've not had a brute fire down upon me from up there before. And for that to happen, it really just throws a wrench into things right here, because I'm really contemplating, do I need to climb up on top and find a firing position and just kill that brute? And the thing is, he ducks into cover, he'll step out when it's unexpected and fire down with rockets. He ducks into cover, and it's just cat and mouse. And yeah, get into cover where I can't finish you off. Great. Now it seems like those enemies are alerted, but what I'll do is see if I can reset their alert status by traveling back to the where the Marine prisoners are, try and reset them. And good, that's taken care of. And the brute is not bothering me. little shield damage is not going to bother me right now. It's not a big concern.
I'm not out of this yet. We're here, Chief. Still alive.
Probably touch up on this sentinel beam. Move it a little bit. I'm concerned about that. Yeah, see, I'm taking it. Yeah, he's up there. But I think I reset them as well by going back to that. Yep, see, they're reset. They don't have their shields on. They're just in patrol mode. They're just looking. They're not in an alert status or anything like that. And neither is the brute. He's just casual. He's just kind of standing and looking off in the distance. Oh, I'm in good shape now. Yeah, it makes me a little nervous that he's just kind of standing up there like that, because at any moment, I mean, he might just see and recognize me or know I'm there and start to shoot. So I figure if I move slow, he's not going to notice. And then I can get to this area where he won't be able to see me, so I'm good. Now, part of plan A is to gain a firing position where I can see the elite and try and get a headshot. Things reset from checkpoint to checkpoint, mission restart, and that's from like playthroughs. If I have a death and then it, I reset and go back to a checkpoint, then they might actually be, the enemies might be in a different place. They might be patrolling or looking off in a different way. So for this run, the elite, which you'll get to see here in a moment, is off to the right and kind of deep into the building where I don't have a line of sight. The brute sometimes is inside the building there, as you can see, and sometimes he's outside the building, kind of patrolling, walking around. So he can be in one of two different places. The elite can be almost where that brute is, but maybe a little more to the right. And sometimes I can get a line of sight on him and get a headshot on him. And other times he's near where it seems like I'm looking at him, but I'm actually seeing a kinetic coil. And what I've done before, I've actually shot the coil and it killed the elite. But in this case, I have no line of sight on him at all. So I'm gonna have to fight him, and I'm not gonna be able to. I'm not gonna bother shooting the brute from here. So I'm not gonna get any kind of early shots onto anything. I think I'm just gonna take the ghost in there and catch him by surprise, and I'm gonna go and just attack that building. The two targets I need to take out in the early going is the elite first, and then the brute. Get them taken care of, and then I can deal with the grunts and jackals. And I'll need to handle them kind of one at a time. Try and do what I can from distance and do it from cover. Along the outside of the building and then go around to the back side here and go in through the back, and then I've got that shade turret shooting at me. Notice here, it seemed like I splattered that brute, huh? I mean, I went right through him. I had enough. I had the same amount of energy going into the elite as I did with the brute, and it did not kill the brute. Now you tell me how that brute is still alive. I went right into him, and all they did was take his shield out. So there's plenty of enemies here on the dock of the elevator. This is also kind of a tough position to fight from. I'd like to fight from within the storage building, but you get nades thrown at you, and you don't have much room to evade a nade that gets thrown in. And plus, if that brute fires rockets, then I could easily get killed. And I just got lucky there that his shot hit the step, if you want to call it step, or the ramp. It's a good place to fight from if it's just grunts. They throw a nade, I might be able to back all the way out of the building and not take a nade or get damaged. This is also kind of a difficult spot because I'd like to shoot them, at least the grunts, shoot the grunts, get their shield out, hop out, get a headshot, hop back in. But being that I can't, yeah, as you see right there, here comes, that's what I was concerned with, is I get to a position where I step out and then get back in the ghost, and there's like one of these grunts I just don't see and just don't know that they're there. I can't see them, and then a nade will come out. So that's why I'm moving around in the way I am, so that I'm not going to have an unexpected nade come by. Because these guys do move around. They move around a little bit. Sometimes they get closer or they move away. They'll get within nade range, and yeah, you're going to get the nade. I really should put a threat sensor down so I at least know what's going on. So I can at least see where the targets are. And here we go again. Here comes another nade. I had no idea that there was one close that was in nade range. And then he's ready to shoot rockets. Get shots on him. So he didn't fire back. Now I'm kind of whittling things down. Really got him down, and there's 2 grunts left in that little storage bin. That's down to 1. Now I'm going to go to the dock and make sure I get the dock cleared, and then I'll save that grunt in that little storage bin for to get a shield. And he'll stay in there. One more grunt. I figure I just go ahead and figure I could just melee him. He's in a tough spot. There's one more grunt that's up on the ledge near the AA gun. You know, where I'm shooting. Yeah, he's scripted to hang around in that area, kind of a little up the hill, kind of comes down the hill a little bit, but will stay up there. And he likes to get into cover. But he'll shoot and peck at you when you're engaging something else. Now I want to try and get my shield back from this grunt. He seems to be scripted to stay in the storage bin, but there's something, and I can't recall what will trigger him, but he'll come running out. I guess when he wants to go into search mode and he's looking for me or something like that. You'll see here in a moment. Maybe it's a trigger line across it. Here he goes. He starts to move. So he's working his way out. Now I need to take care of this other grunt here, and then I can begin set up for the next portion. Please don't shoot. Just got a shield. Now there's a shade turret up there, so my next step here is to take out the shade turret. I'm going to create a little bit of a stockpile here. I have 1 rocket launcher, but there's this storage building has a rocket launcher up on the 2nd floor. It's just got 2 shots in it. Now it reloads. Go back and get the sentinel beam. Put it with the stockpile. to do this with the rocket launcher and the pulse carbine. I'll use the pulse carbine to take out the shield on the shade turret, and then I'll finish it off with a rocket. And that's done. So that threat is now neutralized. So we're going with the BR and the Stalker. Now really the plan here with this AA gun, which by the way I still have 4 more enemies to go through before I work on the AA gun, but really the plan with this AA gun is just kill off enough enemies to get up the lift. The lift is already active. All you gotta do is just get inside and destroy it. However, I want to make sure I eliminate any enemies that are nearby my path that I plan to take to get up there, because I'm just going to grapple up in there. I'm not going to go up the lift. I'm just going to grapple up there and sneak in through one of the doors. So here's 3 of the enemies here in this little area, and the 4th one is a Jackal sniper. I'll put a threat sensor up for the Jackal here in a moment. There's a brute and 2 grunts, and they can be in different places, or it seems like they're always in a different place every time. Now that Jackal is in a, oh boy, yeah, I almost got caught there. The footing is bad, and I got stuck on a little ledge and couldn't walk up the step or whatever the rocks were. I got caught. There's 2 grunts and a brute with a rocket launcher. And at any moment, that Jackal sniper can step out and start shooting. Right now, he's in cover, which I'm fine with him staying in cover. And I got that brute can see me now. I got to make sure I get shots on him and keep him from firing. And I got them both down. So all 3 of those enemies are dead. Now I'll just climb up and punch out the Jackal sniper to ensure that I've got a shield. His position's a little unusual. He's usually closer to the edge. He's really kind of sitting back. Alright, so there's Stalker rifle ammo if I need it. I'm going to park my Ghost just up this trail about halfway up this little hill. I'll come back and reposition it later because there's some enemies I need to take out before I want to move it. It's going to be part of my escape route. See that doorway, that platform, that porch? That's where I'm going to make my entry. I'll grapple up to there. And there's several enemies nearby that could pick me off or kill me trying to go in or leave. Get a little lay of the land. I'll have some fun with some coils or some barrels. Shoot a barrel or two. There's when several enemies are gone. He was weakened. And there's going to be these 2 grunts. This is going to be one of them. He's down. There's a second one off to the right here as well. This is pretty common. I need to take these 2 guys out. There we go. Draw him out. Well, that takes care of those guys. Those barrels really did a number. Really kind of blew a lot of them away. So see, there's that brute. I think he can get a line of sight on me if I want to go up to the, if I want to grapple up to that porch. I'm gonna pick him off before I go up there. There's a lot of enemies here. There's lots of brutes. There's 1 or 2 elites. There's a 3rd elite that's up on the pillars. along with a couple other enemies up on the pillars, way up on top there. So really, I'm just going to eliminate what enemies are needed that are threats to me getting in and getting out. And that's why I put the drop wall up, in case he fires the rockets and it makes it to me, but it didn't make it. He shot the rocks. At this point, all is dead that I plan to kill. I'm going to reposition the ghost. Part of my escape route. Here we go. Now I hear that jackal like is really close by, and I don't see him on the threat sensor anywhere, so I don't know where this jackal is. He sounded really close. But no matter, he's not going to see me. I'll be just fine. AA gun down. Still haven't died.
There's a
Had some
repeated
close
message
calls.
across all banished frequencies. The first part is Hand of Atriox.
And then what?
Deploy.
Chief, where are you?
Hold position. We're on our way.
I'm sorry, Chief. I can't stay.
I've lost his signal. If the Spartan killers find him,
That won't happen.
how can you be sure?
Because they'll need to go through me first.
Alright, so the plan here is I'm going to free the 2 Marine prisoners. I'm going to give one of them the Sentinel Beam, the other one, it doesn't matter what I give them, as long as it's something weak and ineffective and not really going to be used for anything. I'll just give them like a pulse carbine. And those will be my guys that I'll put in the hog. I'm going down here to get the hog now. I went ahead and freed them, give them time to run their planned script to walk slowly and find a weapon and pick it up and do what they need to do. I'll get them linked to me here in a moment. I give them time to do what they need to do.
Lead the way, sir.
Alright,
Oh,
you got the
that's
Sentinel
a hell of a
Beam and
weapon.
the other one here. Let's see where that he's doing. I need to drop the
We'll hold here.
Lead the way, Spartan.
I want to make sure he doesn't take the rocket launcher because that'll mess things up.
Hoorah!
I'm planning to take the rocket launcher
Ah, man.
to the dock and I'll just put it on the dock. And I forgot to fill up the
Moving to objective.
stalker, so now I've got the stalker filled up. There'll be a few enemies. There'll be several enemies at the bottom of this elevator. There'll be some drop pods. There'll be reinforcements right away.
Oops.
I'll put these guys in the hog, and
I'm on the
as
gun.
typical,
Let's go.
Shotgun.
they got in the wrong seat, but it's easy enough to correct.
Hell with this thing.
Jumping in.
Need the Sentinel Beam in the passenger seat. And when I put them on the elevator, they'll stay in their seats and they'll stay put. They're not going to run off or go anywhere. And there's all kinds of crap on the elevator here, so I'm gonna move these crates and boxes out of the way. They're just gonna be in the way.
I was at the reverie when that Sherm came. I'm ready for something else.
So I guess I got everything I need. Got the ghost ready. Got the rockets here. VR, the stalker. The marines are ready. I haven't really practiced this fight that much, but I've had success the couple times I did it. These marines will help with the drop pod reinforcements, which is handy. My big concern is the jetpacker here. I just took care of that, and you got these guys with rocket launchers, and they got taken care of quickly. That worked out very well. Now I can fight off the rest of these guys from distance, lowering the risk of any kind of deaths. I mean, they're too far away to throw nades. The disruptor, I can get shots on them. They're not shooting. I've got some amounts of cover. Get his shield off and then pop him. This other grunt, you got these grunts. See, that's a dangerous part. You have these grunts below, and yeah, I can get within grenade range from them, and that could be a problem. Under different circumstances, I would just take the ghost down there and fly in and splatter the elite. But being there's 5 grunts, actually I think 6 grunts down there. I think there's 4 of them underneath my position. And then, so I just killed the one, and there's another one behind that crate there. So there's a total of 6. So if I go down there to try and get that elite, I can easily get stunned with them shooting their disruptors. Or throw a nade. So it could be trouble. So I'm going to try and kill this elite from my position. I got a rocket launcher and just hope I can get cowbell and boom to work. And it didn't work that time. Where did he go? And wow, he just appeared. Is inside the threat sensor the whole time, and then just magically appeared. He's moving around a bit. I got a splash damage on him, but again, cowbell didn't seem to do much. That one worked. So the cowbell boom worked that time. And that should be it for the rockets. Or at least, that should be it for the rockets I plan to use. Headshot, nade shot. So there should be 4 grunts below. Don't throw your nade at me, please. There's 1, there's 2. There's 2 more grunts below, and a Jackal Major. And outside the gate, there's some enemies. There's going to be a Jackal Majors and some grunts. And there's a trigger line that you can cross that will close the gate. At some point I'm going to cross that. Alright, one grunt remaining. And a Jackal Major.
You think you're getting any intel out of me? You've got another thing coming.
I don't want to venture too far away. I'd just rather get in the ghost. And he's down. Just keeping the hog active. There's going to be 2 more grunts in this small storage room off to my left. But I'm more concerned about the enemies outside the gate and them throwing an unexpected nade on me. So that storage room right there, there's 2 grunts in there. And I'm saving one of them for just make sure it's like the last enemy before I go off for the fight, the big fight against Tovarus and Hyperius. So make sure I got a shield for them. Let's see if I can get the headshot. His shield is down and he ran off to hide. So when he shows up, then I can't see him. Oh, I missed the headshot. Missed the headshot again. And then he jumps up where I can see him. Thank you. As you heard, I crossed the trigger line that closed the gate. Let's get this Jackal Major out of the way. I do not plan to free the prisoners. However, it probably would have been a contingency to free them and kind of bring them along as far as I can. One, I gotta kill these enemies outside the gate. There's gonna be a grunt or 2 that I still haven't killed. I think it's just the one. Hopefully it's just the one. Yeah, bring the extra 2 prisoners along, because there could be a chance. It's just you know, because there's so much uncertainty that could really happen. I could lose, the gunner might end up getting killed. And without the gunner, then I'm, you know, going to be in a lot of trouble. And so that way I'd have an extra prisoner that I can put in the gun. But I choose not to do that this time. Now I have a full shield. And I can't say I'm going to have any other threats that are going to shoot me. There's going to be 3 more grunts at the watchtower off to my left. You see one straight ahead, but there's one off to the left. There's a grunt in the watchtower, and there's 2 below underneath it. And I want to get them killed because I don't want them shooting me from behind and back behind me as I try and engage and try and do the Hyperius Tovarus fight. Granted, I might be far enough away and it might not be a problem, but I just don't want to have to deal with if I have to get out of range of those guys and get within the range of those grunts. So I'd rather get them killed. Just make sure there's no enemies around here. I'm going to fill up my weapons. Oh, that was unfortunate. just missed getting the headshot on him, and just missed trying to shoot him with his shield down. But he saw me before I could see him. And he's in the cover again. Even shot the coil, still doesn't kill him. And his shield was down and it didn't kill him. It's granted it's a shock coil and doesn't have a lot of kick to it. More shock than kick. And finally get that taken care of. Now there's just 2 grunts left, and I'll just get on the hog with the Marines and get those 2 taken out. Now, weapons are topped off and they're full. Taking a bit of a breath here because I hadn't made it this far without dying. So this is not to say uncharted territory. I'm just trying to go through my head, make sure I'm not forgetting anything, and make sure I do this right, make sure it goes well. Because there's a lot of things that can go wrong and go sideways, especially when I do the approach and get in there and try and face the chopper. Because the chopper, I can either get him killed within 2 or 3 seconds or less, or he can kill me in 2 or 3 seconds or less. Yeah, so that's what I was concerned about these grunts. I don't want to come around the corner and get stuck by a nade. I mean, that, and then restart mission. I mean, that would just be terrible. We got a grunt and a brute straight ahead. To make sure these guys get them killed off, because there's a trigger line that I'm approaching. That when I cross it, we'll engage and. Yep, and I crossed it.
Well, a lot. See that chopper? I guess that's one of the Spartan killers.
There's another brute that's got a rocket launcher. I want to make sure I get him killed off from here. Because when that chopper shows up, I want to make sure I don't have any other distractions. So I'm just looking for that chopper. Here he comes. What I mean, in 2 seconds, he could have hit me head on and it would have been blown up and dead. Ideally, you want to destroy the chopper while Hyperius is occupying it. If it blows up with him in it, he dies. It can be destroyed in some 2 to 3 seconds with the arcane sickle beam and chamber. He is harder to put down if he gets out before it blows up because of the difficulty of engaging both brothers at the same time. Now that Hyperius is down, now it's time to focus on Tovarus. Tovarus here has a scrap cannon, and the plan here is just to kind of circle the wagons on him and get him killed off quickly. However, I had to peel off because I heard reinforcements arrive, and I hear the brute snipers taking shots at me with the skewer. So I want to put a threat sensor out and get some more eyes on the battlefield, figure out where they are, because I want to engage Tovarus without engaging any other enemies, because I want these guys, the Marines, to focus just on him, and we don't need to get picked off with the snipers. If the skewer hits this hog, it'll go tumbling, it'll get wrecked. And just as I get out to look, here comes, he pushes up. This is unusual for Tovarus to push up. Took a spike nade, and because there's an enemy in close range, the Marine is not wanting to get in the hog. So he would rather shoot than get back in the hog. But good thing that Tovarus kind of backed off. So again, just need to engage him without any of the other enemies engaging me at the same time. These Marines, they'll pick him off quickly and easily if he was just on the ground in front of us, and they'll just melt him down. So I'm getting this other hog here, and just as I get out to get in the hog, he shows himself and starts shooting, and I'm like, get in, let's go, let's go, let's go, and I have to drive away. I drive far enough away and the gunner will get out and then get back in. Even though they're not in the right seats, I'll get that corrected. this part of the run has not gone to plan. I can typically destroy the chopper with Hyperius in it. Tovarus doesn't usually push up, and the reinforcements, support troops, don't usually see me in this area, which is why I chose it.
Am I the only one seeing that?
Oh, yeah. I'm into this.
So this part of the plan didn't go well. It didn't work out well. And then there was some weird skip, and that was just part of the stream. The stream had some kind of portion going on where it just missed, and it really was only like a couple seconds. And these guys were just shooting a grunt. See, there's the brother with a scrap cannon up on that platform, which he likes to hang around up there. Come on, Marine, get in the hog, let's go. I want to try and get close enough where she'll, or at least the Marine will shoot with the sentinel beam. And he at least comes down and gets in position here where I can just circle the wagons on him. And there we go. And then that brute sniper shows up. So really, this objective is done. But the thing is, there's some enemies still alive, and this is unfortunate. I just knew this was going to happen, and that's why those guys are so, just lethal.
Yes. Comms are still offline, but I was able to activate
The other
his
hog is
tracking
now
beacon
wrecked,
remotely.
and then
He's-
another unfortunate thing. My passenger with the
on
sentinel
nothing.
beam is now under the
UNSC
ground,
ship graveyard.
so he's lost.
Okay.
And so it works out that he's aggressive and wants to push up, and he doesn't have a shield, so he's just a couple shots to get the helmet off, and then a headshot. So the enemies that are left now is going to be, there's still a brute, as you can see now, you can see the brute there. It'll take a little while to get him picked off, but there's a brute there, and then there'll be a few more grunts. And that's really all that's left here, and then the mission, then I can end the mission. I'm going to come back to this other hog. I'm going to try and drive around with this a little bit because the other one is completely blown up. It's wrecked.
I've got gun.
It's not drivable. There's still one more hog in this area. It's kind of straight ahead where I'm pointing, except it's not this first down ship. It's the next one. There's still one more hog, and I'm not really going to bother with it. Trying to draw him out so I can shoot him. He steps out and gets back into cover. Steps out, get back in cover. Gets back in cover again. Seemed like a bunch of wasted shots. Did nothing to his health because he had a shield. And I'll notice right here a sniper rifle. I did not realize that one of these brothers had a sniper rifle as a secondary weapon. Primary, secondary, whichever it is. I mean, yeah, I guess because one of them has a scrap cannon, and I don't know what other weapon he carries with that, and then the other one has a Ravager, and just uses the Ravager, but I think the one with the Ravager has the sniper rifle. And it seemed like he had more than 3 shots because I was able to hand it off to that Marine. I figured the Marine can use it. Because I would rather him shoot his weapon. I mean, he'll engage from distance, and I'll give him a long distance weapon. Because if he gets close enough, then if he gets close enough to targets or enemies, he'll throw nades, and that's the last thing I want. Because it's just going to be worthless with nades. He'll probably end up getting me killed. And that worked out. And it was a good thing I had the drop wall. I don't like that coil. I don't need any accidents. Just getting rid of it. I'm not throwing it at anyone. I'm just getting rid of it. Should be 2 or 3 more grunts.
What you seeing out there?
Looks like 3 grunts. And I do want to save one of them so I can get a full shield recharge. So I made it this far without dying. I don't need any kind of dumb bad luck. Now it's down to the one, so all I need to do is just approach him and punch him out, and I'll get a shield, and then I can end the mission. And since I don't want that Marine to ruin the party, I want to park him at least somewhat far away, and then hopefully spend whatever time I need to get this guy taken out, because I don't need that Marine showing up and throwing nades. I'll lose my mind. And that takes care of that. All that's left here is to just go up to the Pelican and end the mission, which is just off to the left here. But I feel like I want to take the hog, that wrecked, fiery, burning hog, and I'll take it up there, and it can be part of the cutscene. And my last remaining Marine can be part of the cutscene as well.
This one's mine.
I don't remember what it was I was looking for or looking at or trying to decide on. I may have been thinking about getting the new hog, because I just didn't, you know, I guess I was thinking, I just hope there's not going to be any kind of weird accident with the hog blowing up during the cutscene and ruining everything. I think that was, I was just getting, topping off on the weapons, getting weapons filled up.
Hey!
It sounds like there's some kind of weird sound going on, and I think it's cleared itself up. And I think that's just from the Twitch stream that I really had control over. Go through the cutscene, and oddly again, somehow, for some reason, the dialogue from the cutscene doesn't make it into the Twitch stream. You know, I can hear it in the game, but I guess through Twitch, I don't really hear it, so I don't understand what goes on there. But no matter.
Ready when you are, Chief.
About time to wind this one down. This mission is complete. Just did mission 8, Pelican Down, LASO without Bandana, Deathless. Thank you for joining me for this mission. You can catch me on the next mission, The Sequence.